Now that we have our fully detailed single line diagram with appropriate symbols illustrating the system level overview of our control panel for the Bolter machine, let us now go ahead and produce the actual components that will actually be tied to the symbols. These are what we call manufacturer parts. In SOLIDWORKS Electrical, manufacturer parts are applied to symbols to associate them to a real manufacturer part and, as well, a SOLIDWORKS 3D part. The selected part provides the circuit information, which is compared to the circuit's symbol. Any differences between the symbol's circuits and the manufacturer's parts circuits are also illustrated clearly. Let's go ahead and establish a manufacturer item for this LED component that you see right here labeled H1. To do this, right mouse click on the symbol and choose Symbol Properties. You will be presented with the Symbol Properties tool, which is broken into two tabs. The Edit Symbol tab, which we're familiar with already, displaying the root mark and any other descriptive information you wish to add, as well as the Manufacturer Part and Circuits tab. This is where we will go ahead and search through the Manufacturer Parts database. The Manufacturer Parts database is part of the SQL server that is shared at your company's network. You can search through the list or add parts that are not in the catalog already. Let's go ahead and perform a search for the LED light that we want to use. Filters allow us to sort through the large catalog that SOLIDWORKS Electrical provides. In this case, you'll notice that we have a check mark already placed on the In the Class filter, and it says that we're in the category of signaling, alarm/luminous. It automatically places us in this classification due to the type of symbol that we created on our single line diagram. You could filter it on another category by choosing the tree button next to this item and choosing in the class selector the appropriate classification. In this case, I'm going to leave it be. Other filters that are available for you to use are the library. You can create your own libraries that are available per project. You can sort on manufacturer. This will display a list of all manufacturer values that are available in the SQL database. In this case, I'm going to choose Legrand as the manufacturer for this luminous signaling alarm. The next filter is Type Base. This is the default classification for a standard symbol. You will have other options once you apply a single part reference to any one symbol, and we will get into this shortly. Reference is the manufacturer part number. So if we happen to know what the manufacturer part number is, or even a piece of it, we can go ahead and place it in this list. I think I know the part number begins with 023, so I can type that in, and then hit the search button. It will present to me a search result from the SQL database showing me any parts that have 023 in them. As you can see, we have produced a list showing 21 parts from the database. Now, I might know a little bit more about it. Once I see it, I can select it and see that it produces a circuit state on the right side of our screen, showing us the terminal numbers that the manufacturer's catalog has associated with it. Right-clicking on the part in the list results produces a Properties button. Here you can actually edit the database information for that manufacturer's component. As you can see, I have 023030 as a manufacturer's part number, the proper classification, the proper manufacturer. Perhaps I want a default root mark that I can establish for this item. I can associate it with a certain library. One thing that I might want to do here is add a description for this part. I can type in LED switch, and that will then be available in the future if I use this part again. Article number is also a very nice thing to add, as many companies have their own internal part number that they will use in purchasing when they order the part. So if you do have your own internal part number that is different than the manufacturer's part number, this can also be applied at this point in time. Finally, let's look at the circuits information at the bottom of the screen we will see the signaling alarm type circuit and the actual terminal numbers. When we create new parts from scratch, we'll show you how to actually add this information. Right now, observe that we have terminal X1 and X2 already applied. I will choose OK here, and I will add one of these items to the symbol by choosing the plus sign next to the number 1. The number 1 illustrates how many of these items are related to this symbol. In this case, we have one symbol with one part. I will hit the plus sign, and it adds it to the list of manufacturers. You can think of this bottom window as the bill of materials for the symbol that we are looking at. Once I am all set, I will choose the Select button. I will see the Manufacturer Parts and Circuits tab, and I can choose OK again. Notice that our symbol automatically fills out the part number related to that manufacturer's part.